In this series of videos, I'm going to show you how to set up, lay out, prepare, and create a small light plot in Vectorworks Spotlight 2024. Now, this is the way that I design and do it. As like many things in Vectorworks, if you're familiar at all with Vectorworks, there are many different ways to do any particular job. So this is the way I do it. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, and here's my space. I'm going to get rid of this guy right here. Okay, and here's my space. I have some scenery set up in it, and we're gonna create our lighting positions from scratch and put them in a light plot. So what I've done a couple things before. I've laid out just some light red lines where my lighting positions are going to eventually go, just to kind of make this go along a little faster. And then I started the process of creating a lighting position in Vectorworks. So what I did was I drew a rectangle that is for this space is 45 feet long by 2 inches high. Okay, and we are going to use that to create our lighting pipe. So the first thing we want to do is we want to select that rectangle that you just drew, and what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to click on copy, and then I'm going to come up to edit and I'm going to click on paste in place. Okay, paste in place. So that put a rectangle right over the top of the other rectangle. So if I select it and we come up to our object info palette, we have two rectangles. So what I'm going to do is now to take full advantage of Vectorworks Spotlight, we need to work to a certain sense in 3D. So I need to make our light, our electric, or our pipe in 3 dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of the rectangles and come up to model, extrude, and I'm going to extrude that to 2 inches. So essentially what we're going to have is we're going to have a big rectangular box that is 2 inches by 2 inches by 45 feet long. And you may say, Pat, in my theater the lighting pipes are round. Yeah, in my theater too, but round pipes take more resources to render and to process, and it doesn't really matter in Vectorworks for most things if your pipe in Vectorworks is round or square. I'm going with square just to make it easier on my machine. So right now I have an extrude and I have a rectangle. So I'm going to select both things, okay? And I'm going to make sure I come back up here to my layer. I'm going to make sure it's in lighting positions that I have made already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this. I'm going to group this object. So I'm going to right click, and I believe there's group here. Is there group? No, there's not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit in Microsoft or in Mac, it's Command or Control G. And now we have a group, and for some reason Vectorworks wants to change the so I'm going to go back and I'm going to change it back to a lighting position. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I have a group. Now what we need to do is we need to turn this into a symbol, and a symbol is an object that is usually used multiple times. Anytime you have an object that you use multiple times, you want to create a symbol because it takes less resources to replicate it on the screen. So what I'm going to do is we have it selected. I'm going to come up to modify, and I'm going to click on create symbol, and I'm just going to call this electric. I will call it electric pipe. And all we need to do on this is I want the insertion point to be the next thing that I click. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to kind of scroll, if I can scroll in. I don't know if I can do that or not. Okay, So I'm going to find the center point and I'm going to click, and now it's going to ask me where do I want to go with this. And I usually um, I usually let's see, I'm just going to leave it and take what Vectorworks is giving me where it's going to be stored. So I'm going to click on OK. And now if we look over, we have a 3D symbol. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it at the insertion point, and we're going to make our front of house position first. Okay, so I'm going to drag it down, and it is in the spot that I want it to be, upstage, downstage. Now if we look at this view in a side view, let's say right side view, the pipe is on the ground. The pipe is at 0. We do not want that. We want our lights to hang off the floor just a little bit. Generally speaking, that's what you want. So I'm going to, for now, I'm going to set the Z height, the height in the air, I'm going to set it at 20 feet. And hallelujah, there is our pipe at 20 feet. I'm going to just fly around here just a little bit. And here is, yay, here's our scenery, here's our pipe. And I think 20 feet is a good height. Usually when you start modeling your space, the front of house pipes are at a very specific location, and you're going to need to look that and find that so you can put your pipe at the right location. So we have it there, but right now it's still just a 3D symbol. We need to tell Vectorworks Spotlight that it is going to be a lighting position. Pretty easy. What we're going to do is we're going to come up to Spotlight, and we're going to come up, let's see, we're going to come up to Lighting, and we're going to come to Convert to Hanging Position. I'm going to click on that. Only thing, are you sure you want to create this? Let's see what happens. Let's say yes. Why not? So let's name this position, and we're going to call it FOH. I'm going to call it FOH. There we are. So now it's thinking about it, and now it is an official Vectorworks hanging position. It labels it. It labels it in the object info palette. So I'm going to go ahead into a quick 3D view, and let's see what. Yeah, that looks like it's just about right. There we go. There we are, and there's old Pat. Somebody put his picture up all over the place. Wow. All right, let's come back to top view. All right, so now what we're going to do is, in this theater, all of these pipes are the same length. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and drag and copy to the first electric. I'm going to put that there, and now what I'm going to do is I need to rename this. So I'm going to call it ELEC space 1. Enter. There we have electric 1, and it's at 20 feet. Now usually when you have electrics over the stage, they are on line sets and you can control the height. For now we're going to leave this at 20 feet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag and copy, and I'm going to do it for all of them, and we'll come back and rename. So we have electric 3, and we have electric 4. So now I'm going to come back, select them, electric 2, electric 3, and electric 4. I'm going to come back, delete all these little red lines. I want to confirm they are in the correct layer. Lighting position, lighting position, lighting position. There we go. So right now I have all of my pipes and my electrics lined out and ready to start thinking about putting lighting instruments on them. So we're going to call this video right here. I will see you soon in the next video.